Prepping 101. How do I get started? What do I do? What do I need? Where should I go? How can I get started? Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. These are all good questions. Questions a lot of new preppers have. And also for seasoned preppers, it's good to go over the basics. You always have to go back over the basics. You have to make sure that what you're doing is good and is right. We want to be able to thrive in SHTF, not just survive. Is that possible? Depending on the event. If it's a big, large-scale, long-term event, it's going to be very difficult to thrive. A lot of it will just be like, let's just try to get through things and survive. The people that are really good at things, say military for example, special operators. A lot of people, see movies, TV shows, stuff like that, and they think special operators are special because of all the cool high-speed, low-drag things they do, which is true. They do advanced tactics and techniques, but what makes them really special is the complete and utter mastery of the basics. So us as preppers, if we want to evolve to that level, we have to have complete and utter mastery of the basics. And if you're a beginning prepper, welcome. Congratulations on that light bulb going off in your head, for your eyes being open to the fact that you need to be prepared. It used to be common sense. It used to be just a way of life. My grandparents always had a basement with canned goods that they canned from their garden. Extra. Food set aside. They had a pantry. They had a well-stocked stuff. They weren't preppers. They weren't survivalists. They were just people. They were people that lived through the Great Depression, that knew what they needed to do. They knew that it's a good thing to have extra. So that's what we do as preppers. Some people like to call us hoarders. Well, to me, the difference is hoarders just collect, keep, don't get rid of, whatever, accumulate stuff that doesn't necessarily have any real use. It may, to them, have value. And some people may hoard things that do actually have value. But what preppers do, we stockpile food and supplies and other things that gives us peace of mind. It's our emergency fund against calamity, natural disasters, events that are beyond our control. SHTF doesn't necessarily have to be total and utter collapse of society. It can be a personal SHTF, losing your job, getting injured, losing a loved one, whatever. Lots of different things can happen that affect you in your daily lives. And if you have food storage and supplies and skills, the right mindset, and all these things that we talk about as preppers, then you will be way better off. You won't have to stress as much. You won't have to worry as much. You will have that peace of mind that prepping gives you. You will know that you'll be able to feed and provide for your family. Feed your family and provide for them. So how to get started? If you're a beginning prepper, welcome, like I said. And welcome to the channel. Anybody that's new here. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Hit the little thumbs up button. Ring the little notification bell when you subscribe. Hit all. Share the videos and comment. I really appreciate it. It really helps the algorithm. It really helps us as preppers, prepper channels, and other, good content creators out there to reach more people, to empower and uplift more people, and to get more people on board with preparedness, which is very important. So how do you start? Starting is very easy. Next time you go to the store, just buy a couple extra things, a couple extra canned goods, and concentrate on things that you actually eat. Don't just buy things because you think, oh, it's inexpensive. Sometimes you may have to do that because you understand the fact that if it's a big event, long-term event, stuff like that, you'll have to eat stuff you don't necessarily like. Okay, I get it. But why not stockpile, store things that you enjoy? Morale is going to be harder to maintain in a big event or a small event. Life is going to suck. It's not going to be fun. It's not fun and games. I hope that nothing big ever happens and I waste all my time and money being a prepper. It's not a waste though, because I'll tell you what, it is worth the money I spend, the time and effort for the peace of mind that I know I don't have to worry as much. Do I worry? Of course. There's so many things beyond my control that I can't necessarily prepare for. All-out nuclear war, invasion. You know, I mean, there's things we can do about that. But are we really prepared for that? Probably not. Some people may think they are. They may think, oh, let's get it on, let's go. No, you don't want it. Trust me. Anyway, yes, just buy a couple extra things. Buy a bag of rice. Buy a bag of beans. First thing, though, is set a budget. Figure out what your prepping budget can be. If you can spend a lot, great, do it. If you can only spend a little bit, great, then do it. Couponing, thrift stores. There's a lot of ways to budget prep. Yard sales, estate sales, auctions. There's a lot of different ways to budget prepare. Yeah. Mindset is key. Positive mental mindset, like today's Prep of the Day mentioned. You have to be adaptable, flexible. I like Semper Gumby, military term, which means always flexible. Able to roll with and adapt to ever-changing situations and environments in a practical and effective way. It's very important because there's going to be so many things beyond our control, and there's going to be so much going on that we've never seen before or dealt with before. Food storage, a lot of people have heard that. Yeah, food storage. Very important. But what's more important than that even? Water, right? Water storage. How much? You can only store so much water. I've done videos in the past about where to, if you're limited on space, or it's the best problem to have as a prepper is to be running out of space, because that means you have preps, which is good. But I've done a video, so I'm not really going to go necessarily into that. There's a lot of unique and different ways you can find places to store your preps. There's a lot to preparedness. Working on skills is very important. Watching different YouTube channels, gardening, raising animals, bushcraft stuff, survival stuff, canning, sewing, fishing, hunting, trapping, snaring, yada, yada, yada. There are so many skills that apply to SHTF and apply to preparedness. First aid is a big one. That is one of the basics that you have to complete and utterly master as much as you possibly can, because you will get injured. Medical supplies also. When you go to the store, grab an extra box of Band-Aids. For boo-boo kits, I get it. It's not hardcore. Rolled gauze also. 91% alcohol for cleaning out wounds. Hemostatic agents like QuikClot, Celox. I recommend the gauze, not the granules or the sponges. They have different uses, but unless you're medically trained or have access to medical situation or medical facilities afterwards, then it's going to make your life a lot more difficult to try to get all those granules back out, because you can't leave them in. There's a lot to it. There's a lot of stuff I could go on and on and on and on about. The point is, start. Cover the basics. Make sure you have food. Make sure you have water. Make sure you have shelter. Make sure you have medical. All these things. Then morale items like hard candies, Maybe peanut butter is a morale item. Maybe mac and cheese is your morale item. I don't know. But make sure you remember those things. Also, board games, books, magazines, hard copies of prepper-related material, foraging books, wild edibles, wild medicinals, medical books, all very important. Wilderness survival books, bushcraft books, those country living and old school, like back to basics type books that teach you and talk about a lot of things. It's good to have all these kind of materials, but what goes along with that to make you be effective? You have to do. You have to get out and do these things. You have to practice. Gardening, you learn as you go. Same with any skill that you gain, and that if you really want to be proficient in that skill, you have to learn about it, then you have to get the stuff to do it, then you have to go out and practice it. Practical application is very important. If you're book smart, okay, you still need to have that hands-on. You still need to know how to do it, because when an event happens, if it's a big event or whatever, a lot of things are going to be more difficult. You don't want to be trying to learn how to do things then. You want to learn how to do them now, when life is still relatively easy. There's a lot on the horizon. There always is. There's a lot of potential for bad. But for the most part, life goes on. Just don't think that we are impervious to things like this just because we live in the United States. We're not impervious. Every civilization has risen and fallen. Period. All throughout time. It can happen to us. So concentrate on the basics. And I've done other videos about, prepping basics, stuff like that. So set a budget, figure out how much you can spend, and then start. Start getting, here's one thing, variety. A variety of different kinds of food storage, for example. There's those freeze-dried cans that you see. There's backpacking, camping food. Yes. There is also canned goods. There's emergency ration bars. There's bags of beans that are also seeds. There's dry goods. There's wet goods. There's all different kinds of things. The thing is, just start. It's very important to start. And to spread the word about prepping so other people can start. Other people can get on board. You can empower and uplift other people. That's what I'm trying to do here. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. And blessings to you and yours.